Good evening and welcome to the Town of Douglas Conservation Commission meeting for Monday, June 5th. Time is 7 p.m. First item is locating my agenda. Here we go. Okay, I'm gonna go with the mail orders to be signed. Steve, it might be your mic on your computer. Okay, good. Okay, mail, let's see. Anything important in the mail?
I think I'll just start. Every month, you know, that spreadsheet, every month we get the, from the White Reservoir, where, you know, they give us their outflow.
Okay,
And I've been tracking that for years. I just put it into the file, into the database, so I
okay,
just said, you know, I usually just respond, I receive it, but I'll just start, I responded to Jen, just so she had it in her record.
okay. Does anybody want to take a look at this?
I mean,
Yeah.
I did a chart, I mean, years ago, kind of just, it's something that they do because of the order conditions, how much flow is coming out of the bottom, but
Okay. Let's see. And since we have one member remote, I'll do attendance.
Eric Harris here. Mike Rocco here.
Mark Mungum's here.
Katie Dudley here.
Tracy Sharkey, aye. Okay, thank you. We're gonna skip over Shore Road complaint. We do have new business, 7 PM RDA public meeting. I have to skip down to number 6, request for determination of applicability, Town of Douglas Highway Department, South Street right-of-way repair and upgrade stormwater management infrastructure. Town of Douglas Conservation Commission, 29 Depot Street, Douglas, Mass. Legal notice for public meeting, request for determination of applicability. Town of Douglas Conservation will hold a public meeting for Douglas Highway Department on June 5th, 2023 at 7 PM in the Municipal Center, 29 Depot Street, for work to be done pursuant to the Town of Douglas Wetland Bylaw and the Wetland Protection Act, Mass General Law, Chapter 131, Section 40. The proposed request for determination of applicability work location is South Street right-of-way, and applicant is requesting permission to repair and upgrade stormwater management infrastructure as part of a roadway reconstruction project. Public participation will be available by attending the meeting at the Town of Douglas Municipal Center located at 29 Depot Street, Douglas, Mass. Pursuant to Governor Baker's June 16, 2021 order suspending certain provisions of open meeting law, General Law, Chapter 30A, Section 18. Public may participate in this meeting via remote participation. Website for the meeting will be provided on the conservation agenda posted on the town's website at least 48 hours prior to the meeting. Copies of the application may be examined electronically by contacting the Conservation Commission, 508-476-4000, extension 205, 528. Okay, and who is here presenting? On behalf of the applicant, come on down.
Good evening, Madam Chair. Where would you like to sit? If at all.
Yeah, you can sit right there, that's good. Thank you.
Is this legal? Is it? I don't know.
Yeah.
Good evening, members of the commission. Matthew Benoit, Community Development Director for the Town of Douglas. What you have before you is a request for determination of applicability for drainage improvements along South Street, ranging from approximately, I'll call it Thomas Circle, it's a private unfinished subdivision off of South Street at approximately 195 South Street, through towards Hemlock Street. There's a repair, replacement of stormwater infrastructure of approximately 10 culverts with associated swales, drop inlets throughout. Our engineer, Dave Glenn from Stantec, is here also, put the plans together. Happy to answer any questions. What we're looking to do here is, before we started looking at the drainage on this property, this road was up for reconstruction using Chapter 90 funds for standard, the highway department to redo the roadway. But some concerns came up from some of the neighbors, and we went out to town meeting to get an appropriation to have the drainage study, which was voted and approved at the last fall town meeting. Since then, we've had a preliminary meeting with the residents of South Street, gathering their comments, maybe a few weeks ago, gathering their comments and questions, concerns that we can incorporate into these plans that you see before you this evening. We filed an RDA because all of the work is existing within the right-of-way. We're not looking to encroach onto any private property. Any hay bales, associated straw wattles will be in conformance with whatever recommendations Mr. Sisk and the commission would like to let us know. But happy to answer any questions about the project entirely. Dave Dunn is also here to answer your questions.
Okay, great, thank you very much. Steve, anything?
No, I think the plans have the BMPs, and they're improving the BMPs, and they have the straw wattles around, every structure, outlet structure that they're doing. I think a lot of the work is just right adjacent to the edge of pavement.
So the compost filter tube, is there a detail for that in the back? You're blowing it in, the composting tubes?
That's what we use, yes.
Okay. And we have, do you have like silt sacks for all the catch basins?
Yes.
Okay.
So you are able to get relief from all the outfalls within the right-of-way itself without having to extend any drainage easements or anything like that?
Yes, we were able to,
Yep, and name and address for the record.
as Matt said, Dave Glenn from Stantec, as we developed the plans for the project, we were able to maintain everything within the right-of-way for the roadway, all the head walls, riprap splash pads, all the culverts, any of the drop inlets, catch basins, they're all within the right-of-way of South Street.
And so from these exit points, do they drain onto private property from that point on?
Yes.
And that's what you've reviewed with people on the street?
Yes.
And are there any existing pipes or drainage structures there now, or are these all completely new structures?
No, they're all, what the project scope is, there's 10 cross culverts along the whole corridor. So the drainage improvements is basically replacing all the existing 10 cross culverts that are out there now. Some are corrugated metal, some are concrete, but they're all in need of repair. So the intent is to replace all the existing 10 culverts out there with a HD plastic type pipe, which is more durable. There'll be head walls at all the outfalls, splash pad at the outfalls. Inlets will be a combination of drop inlets, catch basins, depending, basically what's there now. There will be also some head walls out there. And then there's a number of the driveways, we'll be replacing the culverts at some of the driveways of the residents. I think there's 5 or 6 locations where we're replacing the driveway culverts.
Okay.
Again, that's all within the right of way.
Oh, okay, but the driveway goes, okay, good.
Right, yeah.
Katie Grace, any comments or questions?
I do not.
Okay, great. Yes?
The culvert's going to be the same size as the ones that are there now?
Yes.
Is there any ponding or puddling on the existing roadway that you have to take care of as part of this project?
There is some ponding there now, which is part of the project prior to, after the drainage improvements are completed, there's going to be a roadway pavement improvement where the crown's going to be reestablished, full depth reconstruction. So the intent is to do the drainage improvements, obviously prior to doing the final pavement.
Madam Chair, if I may. I
Yes.
just want to express from John and Adam Furno, they were unable to attend this evening, otherwise they'd be here in support of this project.
Okay.
They've been part of the process all along.
Great. Board, anything else? I'll entertain a motion.
I never remember how to say this. I move that we accept the negative RDA.
Issue, yep, an issue. Motion made by Mark,
Second.
second by Eric. All those in favor?
Eric Harris, aye.
Mike Greco, aye.
Mark Mongemai.
KG Dudley, aye.
Okay, thank you very much. I'll get that signed.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
You too.
Thanks. Okay, meeting minutes, March 20th. Mike,
Pardon?
meeting minutes?
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, we had March 20th. Which is pretty wordy, but I went through it and it looked okay to me, so if anybody's not opposed, I'll make a motion.
Okay,
Make a motion to approve the meeting minutes as written for March 20, 2023.
motion made by Mike,
Second.
seconded by Eric. All those in favor?
Eric Arasai.
Mike Greco, aye.
Mark Mangiamai.
KG Dudley, aye.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, CRG 105 and 123 Gilboa Street update.
You know,
Steve, do you have an update?
That's a standing, those are standing
Update?
items. I don't know if there is an update.
Okay, no update?
See Art
Showing?
here. I don't see Art here, so.
Okay. BWC, 45 Oak Street. So 45 Oak Street is requesting an extension on their order.
They are.
So does anybody have any objection to granting the extension for 45 Oak Street for 3 years? Did they request 3 years?
No.
I put 3 years on the,
2 years, okay.
well, I put 3 years on the certificate
Yeah,
to sign.
Yeah.
Unless Jeff has an objection to that. No.
no, okay. I'll entertain a motion to grant the extension for 45 Oak Street for 3 years.
So moved.
Motion made by Mike,
Second.
second by Eric. All those in favor?
Eric Arasai.
Mike Greco, aye.
Mark Mangiamai.
KG Dudley, aye.
Okay, Brian Keevan, 41 Pine Street, donation from 2014.
Yeah, I have it on the screen too. So this is what I did the last time.
Little mock-up.
Correspondence with the Brian Keevan and his family,
Oh, yeah.
what the wording would be.
Yep,
I kind of superimposed the Liam Lazinski sign, which has the two top pieces of board are standard throughout pretty much the town now is what we use. And then any wording would be in smaller font on the, I think it would probably take another 3 boards. That being said, this style where it hangs from the top on some eye hooks, there's no, I don't think they use, I think they use the one in the bottom right, which they redid. There's a sign down off of on your way to Thompson, Connecticut, off of Southwest Maine called the Rocky Brook area.
yep,
And you can see on that side, it's more of a slot. So instead of having eye hooks, you can replace the boards easily. It's more of a, they slot them into the end. Just so they know what kind of style they're gonna be supplying. So I emailed them over the weekend. I haven't heard back from the family if this is what he's looking for.
well, I think Brian had specifically said that
Yeah.
language,
He did, and I showed him the.
quote unquote.
Yeah, I showed him the PDFs, but he hasn't responded, so
Okay,
I said, I think the guy's away, so we got till August or something to, if the board accepts this and then you can maybe vote on it, and Brian accepts it, the Keevan family, send it to to Wallem Lake. I think Will Anderson, they'll get us a price quote on what the materials would be, maybe come back at the next meeting and vote on that.
yeah. I think we should entertain a motion to accept the suggested language by Brian
You have a
Keevan.
hand up in the audience online from Lisa.
Okay, I can't see the,
Oh.
can you make it bigger, the screen? Because there's like icons on the side.
Lisa,
I'm sorry, Lisa. Do you want to say something?
Sure, I mean, it's fine if you vote on that wording and everything. I'm just curious if there's been any discussion as to where the sign is going on that particular piece of property.
Well, it's gonna.
Because I believe I copied Steve on a email I sent to Matt Wojcik, but,
Yeah.
and Jen, I apologize that I missed you, but there are questions about where exactly that sign would be going.
It would be going somewhere in the vicinity of the right-of-way and the parking area easement off the south.
Steve, I can't hear you, sorry.
Here for you. Your computer's muted.
Can you hear me now? It's going to go somewhere off the parking easement, and there's a 10 or 15-foot parcel easement, and then there's a little parking easement off of Southeast Main. So somewhere, I'm guess somewhere in that vicinity, that's the only place that there's access off of any public roadway.
So I thought I copied you on an email to Matt Wojcik, but, I mean, trees have to be taken down and stone walls need to be moved in order to even make any space for a sign.
That's true. So, but in the meantime, so there's, the meeting we had a couple of meetings ago, I thought there was a couple avenues. There was, open space was working on the parking lot with highway in the town, and then the commission was gonna work on the sign design. So,
That's correct.
So
I
this
just
right-
want to make you aware
Right.
that
We have the email.
there's no space for the sign in the short term.
right, but it hasn't been made yet, so we're trying to finalize the procedure of actually getting all the ancillary wording and stuff for the sign, so when the time comes, they could make it quickly, or we can make it ahead of time and keep it at the highway department until the parking lot is finalized.
Okay. Thank you.
But is that in the package?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
we
your
have your email.
Your email's in everyone's package, by the way.
Okay, great.
Yeah, so there's some decent amount of tree clearing and everything before the sign can be safely installed.
True.
Yes. So I think, what are we shooting for, August?
Well,
To
August,
have it made?
we could always have it made and have, ready to go.
Yeah, yeah. We're obviously not going to put it like behind a tree that
No.
you gotta scrap. Okay. Yeah, maybe if there's a more convenient location so that we're not taking up any parking spots also.
We would have to look at that when the time
Like a
comes.
little, yeah,
They're going to have to do
selective.
some work out there.
Okay. Okay. All right. Anyone else online? Can't really see. Okay. Board, do we want to make a motion to approve the wording once, and as long as Brian Keevan agrees? I guess contingent on the final approval by him.
So moved.
Motion made by Mark,
Second.
second by Mike. All those in favor?
Eric Harris, aye.
Mike Rocco, aye.
Mark Mungin,
Katie Dudley, aye.
Thank you. Okay, town conservation land properties?
Yeah, we talked about it briefly last meeting, and Jen didn't, wasn't on the agenda, so she put it on there. I don't know if you want further updates or, I know we talked about some of the land that we have, and last meeting briefly about mowing. We typically don't mow until late fall.
Yeah.
We haven't mowed in a couple of years. Certainly start getting proposals maybe next fiscal year.
Yep, I think that would be good to get proposals for the mowing.
You were going to send me waiver, which I didn't get,
Yes.
so that I could go out and cut some wood.
Yes.
Yeah,
Play with
Let
my
me write
chainsaw
that
for a little
down. I
while.
know, I didn't have that down. Got to write here a waiver form.
we got to get that right away for him. I feel like you emailed it to all of us,
I'll do it again.
like a long time ago, before Mark was on the board. The last time somebody wanted to cut some stuff in there. Okay. Next item will be the Shore Road complaint. So in your packet, we have some correspondence, allegedly anonymous, from May 30th, with some pictures. So we've received this complaint. I would suggest to the board that we pay for Art Allen to go out to see if any activities were jurisdictional, because we don't have any flags out there, we don't have any reports or anything. Mike, do you have it? Do you have it in front of you? No? Okay. Should we have Steve request a proposal from Art? Katie Grace?
I absolutely agree. I looked at the complaint letter, and it wasn't specific as to what the violation was. I think it just said a violation on many levels. So I think that involving an expert, having Art evaluate the system so that we could actually put a definition on a violation if a violation has occurred would be helpful to the board.
Yep, Steve's got some pictures.
Here's one of them. So it's pretty much on the Rhode Island line. I think there was looks like they
I'm
used.
sorry, could I ask a question? What is the
No,
complaint?
I'm sorry. Nope, not right now, okay? We're looking at the,
I can't scroll through. I have to open them up one at a time. There's an inlet right here. So I think they're clearing out the inlets and the drainage ditch on how much exactly.
okay, so we'll get to that, but, so where did you see the two pipes?
Well, there's a pipe right here.
And whereabouts is that on, you have a plan in here for us?
Well, the plan just shows the wetlands associated with this lot. across the street.
We don't really know where the location of this is, though, coming from the picture, like on the map.
Right, so this pipe here.
Is that pipe in the picture?
No, that's the first one I showed you.
Okay,
And then the other one's down
Right here?
here.
what's that?
Probably
What's
down
that?
here, yeah.
Okay, so in the picture, I'm looking at the first one, and then the next one is south of that, right?
Right.
Curb. Okay, Mark, any comments, questions?
No.
Okay, Katie Grace, do you want to put it in a final, or a formal motion to request an estimate for this activity
Yeah.
and to handle the complaint?
Yeah, I move to request an estimate for the board to have the complaint evaluated to determine if there was a violation, and if so, what it might be in particular and what extent.
And what was the last part?
I said and what extent, but
Okay.
I don't mean that because we don't really scale violations. I guess to evaluate if there was a violation, and if so, what it was.
Right, and if any restoration, replication is needed. Okay,
Second,
there's a
as
motion?
amended.
Yes, second. Motion made by Katie Grace, seconded by Mark. All those in favor?
Eric Harris, aye.
Mike Greco, aye.
Mark Mangiamai.
KG Dudley, aye.
Okay, thank you. Okay. Now we have review discussion on culvert plan for 115 Shore Road.
Jeannie has a hand up online.
Yeah, we're moving forward on the complaint, if that's what you're asking about.
Yeah, I was just going to comment that I think I know where that spot is, and I think when I saw it, I thought that they were trying to clear a path for the water that's been increased, I think. So anyway, I think it was in response to flooding on Shore Road. I'm not sure who did it, and I didn't complain, but I think it was just trying to manage water, is what I think.
Right, so under the Wetlands Protection Act and our local bylaws, if you're within 100 feet of a resource area that's defined in those two items, then you need to file with the commission.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
Yeah.
So review discussion on culvert plan for 115 Shore Road. So, in our packet, welcome, name and address. I'm gonna first start with Steve though, okay?
Rauf Mankaris with Alpha Omega Engineering.
Steve, did you have anything before he begins?
I think they have an updated plan that was submitted,
Okay,
and I think our
could we put that on the screen?
and the consultant Jeff from Graves Engineering is here too.
Hi, Jeff.
Hello. Hello.
Hi, thank you for joining us. All right, do you want to just go over your changes on the new plan?
Sure, not much changes. Basically, Jeff requested some additional information for the plan, which is the road profile itself, up to 4 or 5 houses left and right. We did that. We submitted the information to Jeff, and I don't think there's any more. He also asked me to try to see if my client can contact the Board of Health Planning, Highway Department, see if they have any historical information for the road. They did, but they came out with nothing. All
Okay.
departments with no information.
Okay.
We can't hear.
We can't hear anything you're saying. Could you
Anything
please
going
speak
on?
up?
Do you mind?
We're right here in the room and we cannot hear you.
Do you want to come up, Cliff? Do you want to come up here? I have a seat right here. You can come next to me. There's one right there too, next to Mike. Okay, Jeff, what do you have for an update for us? Anything, are you satisfied with the profile, the road profile, and the changes made to the plan? Jeff?
He's muted.
I think he's.
You gotta tell him on mute.
Sorry about that.
That's
Again,
okay.
Jeff Walsh with Graves Engineering, consultant to the Conservation Commission. Yes, Madam Chairman, I did review this, the profile plan that was on the screen a few moments ago, and I looked at the grading along the profile, and the profile does show a high spot in front of the northern driveway in front of number 115. That's on the profile view, it's about station 3+65. There you go. Yep. Little bit, did the cursor go up to your left a little bit? Up, up, up.
Up more?
No, the view's good. If you wouldn't mind putting this, moving the cursor down a little bit, please, to the profile, and a little bit left, please, a little bit, just a little bit more into the next square, right about there, right about there. That little high spot is in front of the northern driveway, and in measuring it off this profile, it looks like it's about 0.4 of a foot higher than it should be when I look at what this road probably had for a grade years ago, knowing that it used to be an old railroad bed. So nevertheless, that little bit of a high spot needs to come down about 0.4 of a foot or so, and that is consistent with what the applicant's engineer has proposed at the last meeting with their site plan with the spot elevations and showing the stormwater flow directions. So in short, the profile confirmed what their proposed elevations were. And quite frankly, I'm not taking exception or not scratching my head anymore about whether or not the grading that was proposed to the commission a little while ago in Shore Road was in order or was not. To me, it appears to be in order based upon this larger profile view of the Shore Road.
Okay, very good. So board, do you see the proposed grade is coming down? What would you say approximately?
It's about 6 inches or more.
Okay. In that short area, so 6 inches for how much, how many square
That's
feet?
all the way into our property until the whole grade will go down just on the right.
Okay. Okay. Katie Grace, any questions?
No, thank you.
Okay, do we think that maintenance annually is enough?
I think that unless there is an like emergency event, like another flood that we saw that dove us into this entire conversation, like we had that 4th of July weekend, or if there's some other incident, that annual maintenance would be sufficient.
Yeah, so, or before a storm event? Significant storm event?
Yeah, then we have to categorize the storm event, so it's kind of subjective.
A significant?
Is significant
I
a
forget.
classification of freak event?
Yeah, I forgot what we usually do for replication, or there was one. Okay. Eric, anything? Mike? Mark?
No, as long as the grading is such that there's water being removed from the Shore Road and it's going to be exiting, as you said, down that driveway, you know,
And we will have an
that
as-built.
satisfies me.
Okay, and an as-built. Okay. So Jeff's all set?
Well, I think, yeah, he's going to be overseeing the construction of it too.
Okay, so Jeff, you'll be overseeing the construction, so they're gonna notify him directly?
Well, that's what he should clarify.
Is that okay?
I don't think there's a problem. We're gonna do an as-built anyway, we're gonna,
No, but when the construction is happening, to notify him directly?
yeah.
Okay,
It's a one-day job anyway. but-
yeah. We're thinking, yeah, thinking it's gonna be forever. Okay. Jeff, you good with that?
Yes, I'm good with that, Madam Chairman.
Okay. All right, board, what's your pleasure?
Would I be making a motion to approve this proposal?
And to issue an order of conditions, right? No?
For,
okay.
for
Oh, we don't have one,
this?
okay.
And it's tricky because is this part of 115 Shore Road?
We are, yeah. Yeah,
And
to,
Is there a deed, okay.
okay, so to approve the submitted plan from 5/25/23.
Yeah, I would agree to approve the plan as submitted on the, what did you say, 5/25?
Yeah,
23.
23.
Yeah, I move to approve this plan.
Okay, motion made by Katie Grace,
Second,
second by Mark. All those in favor?
Eric Harris, aye.
Mike Greco, aye.
Mark Mungimai.
A.G. Dudley, aye.
Okay, good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. The number 5's continued. Old business number 7, public hearing continued. Notice of intent, Legacy Circle, map 166, lot 15, site access drive, Peter Michael Business Park.
Madam Chair, could I request that we Could you move that item down? We're waiting for our member of our team. Would that be possible?
The next item is continued also.
Oh, okay, we're up. All right.
So,
Point, okay.
yeah.
All right.
I think our consultant didn't have a full chance, right, for responding to the last set of changes?
I didn't receive anything in writing.
Okay,
I know he's joining us this evening.
okay,
I don't know if you had a chance to look at it. I know it was very straightforward.
okay, all right, let's see.
I don't want to put words in his mouth.
Yeah.
What? What? What did you want? Yeah. Something about some shore road. And the complaint. He had some information for you on the complaint.
Okay,
I said talk to you about it, but he left.
okay. One moment, please.
Sure.
Let's see here. Okay. Was our consultant, who is our consultant? Was our consultant, so Steve?
Jeff's
they
still
didn't-
here.
Oh, Jeff,
I'm still here.
okay, thank you. So I don't think you gave a formal response yet, right, to this, the last comments response page, that memo?
No, I did not. The staff member working with me did get a review, a follow-up review underway. The draft of that review letter ended up on my desk the other day. It looks like things are in order, but I haven't put my eyes on it and finalized the review or issued the letter yet. But I had positive feedback by way of the draft letter that was written. Exchanged emails with Steve Zisk late today, but again, I haven't put my eyes on anything, Madam Chairman. But it's my understanding the culvert was widened from 12 feet to 14 feet. There were additional check dams put in the swales. Those were the check dams were in the pre-treatment, if you will. That was my primary concern in the first review.
So,
It was the culvert size and the pretreatment?
The culvert size, I was okay with. It seemed to be cutting it very, very close, but they followed standard procedure as I understand it. And even though it wasn't, the stream channel didn't have two parallel lines, and I understood that the commission had asked them to widen it, and I understand that the plans show it widened, but again, I haven't put my eyes on that plan yet.
Okay, can you pull up the plan online? Just, you've got to remember, there's some people viewing it online.
If I could, Madam Chair. Mike Dryden, Senior Project Manager, Allen Engineering. I know Mr. Graves hasn't had a chance to look at it, but if you look at our letter, we did exactly what he asked us to do on each and every item, so we
Right, that's what
we
I'm,
don't take exception
double-
to anything that
okay.
Mr. Walsh had. I may have called him Mr. Graves, sorry, Jeff. Mr. Walsh.
That's all right. That's all right, Mr. Dryden.
Okay, so everything was agreeable, and you've made the necessary changes on your plan
yeah, I mean,
dated,
The revised plans are 5/18.
okay.
Nope, that's the date of his
Yeah.
comments, 5/22.
I don't
Okay.
have them on me.
Okay.
But, not to lose, so you don't think we're gonna lose the extra time? The order conditions weren't ready anyways, even if you closed today, you'd have to wait till the next meeting. So what I recommend is I could have a draft order conditions done. Keep, if you want to keep, because wait for Jeff's comments, and then you can open, close, and continue at the next meeting. Because you're not gonna lose you won't lose any time even if they approved it tonight, because they would have to sign the order conditions at the next meeting anyways.
Okay. We would
Board.
certainly appreciate that, getting queued up for the next meeting so that we could put this behind us.
Plus his other comments. Plus his other comments that, it's pretty straightforward. I could have a nice draft order of conditions ready to go.
So just to clarify, you would be in a position to close the hearing, vote, and issue and sign the order, execute the order at the next meeting, or?
Whenever it's ready, right?
Yeah, I mean, our consultant is saying that everything was straightforward. The applicant's saying they've agreed on all the changes. I'm just reviewing that they have agreed and then the plan has been changed.
Yeah, that's if Jeff has no major comments.
Jeff, you've already prepared with the help of someone in our office, right? The response to their response?
We have. I can get
Yeah.
a letter to you probably tomorrow. I can take a look at the plans and finish up our review letter tomorrow, confirm what the staff engineer found, and again, finalize the letter and get it to you probably tomorrow.
Could you review what changes were made to the plan? If you could, please.
You want me to go through the comments? Happy to do that. Through the chair?
I think just the changes that were made to the plan. So the comment,
Okay, yeah.
and then, because everything else is, a lot of stuff is already agreed on,
Okay.
and there's an explanation.
I'll skip
Yeah,
over
I mean,
the ones.
we were on the sidewalk together, so you
Yep.
knew what the concerns that we had.
Absolutely.
That's the ones I'm most worried about.
Yep, absolutely. So I'll skip the first one. I'll just use the letter as a guide because most of the changes were in response to the comment.
Yeah, no,
Number
that's good.
2, again, it's relative to the culvert width. In accordance with the Massachusetts stream crossing standards, we're required to provide a culvert width of 11.5 feet. We had provided 12 on the initial plans. During the walk with the commission, it was suggested that we go a little bit wider. So we have provided a 14-foot culvert, which is 2.5 feet greater than what is required under the stream crossing standards. That is depicted on the plans. Number 3, there was just some confusing labels that Mr. Walsh had called out. We corrected those labels pertaining to the height of the culvert. We clarified what is exposed versus what is embedded.
So what is the overall height?
So the overall height of the structure is 6 feet. 2 of the 6 feet is embedded, 4 feet is exposed. So what that equates to in terms of the openness ratio is about 2 times what's required. 0.82 is the minimum, we're at 1.75. So 14 by 4 exposed is twice what's required under the stream crossing standards. He just, rightly so, Jeff had suggested we put some elevations on the elevation of the stream at the inlet and the outlet. We've added those to the plan. As Jeff alluded to, additional pretreatment, he requested that we add additional stone check dams. We've done that. We actually added, I believe, half a dozen of them. And he also suggested that where the swales enter the basin and we have 3-to-1 slopes to armor that with riprap. We've actually done that in several locations. Number 8 of the letter, we had only provided 0.75 feet of freeboard. 1 foot is required, so we corrected those elevations just to add a few tenths at the top of the berm. 9, I just touched on the riprap swales. Number 10, there was a dimension that was mislabeled on the plan regarding the clear span. The roadway itself is 28 feet. The length of the culvert is 32 feet, so we clarified that. And I also addressed verbal comments received from the commission during the May 13th site walk. I just talked about the culvert width. The second one was additional notes added to the plan regarding the timing of the construction. We had notes on there that specified during the dry period, late summer. We bolstered those notes. I did provide those.
Yeah, those are in everyone's package,
Yep.
your email.
I did provide those, yep.
And then we talked a little bit back and forth about the dry period, right?
Yes, yep. I sent you the draft, and then we added construction sequencing notes. We added a stockpiling area to the plan. So all minor.
Yeah, the only thing I think I responded was that just in case, if it's needed, dewatering.
Yep, and I did add that.
You know, hopefully it's dry, but if we get a rainstorm and you have to dewater, whatever that protocol would be. Usually it's just something to a bladder or
Exactly.
or a
Yep.
square. Usually they do a square traditional hay bale or a straw bale with stone in it.
So I added that to the notes, the dewater, this number 5, under general construction notes, talks about dewatering.
Just in case they need it.
Yep, I even go as far as to say how far up gradient and down gradient you should go from the construction, so that you're not allowing water to re-enter the construction site. So, did add that, Steve, per your request. I think that about sums up the changes.
Is there a guardrail on the top?
There is not. This is a private site. No need, we don't see the need for guardrail.
How high is it?
It's
6 feet.
4 feet.
6 feet,
4
it's
feet above
highest
ground.
point.
It's over 4 feet.
Right. It's a private site, not subject to public pedestrian access or vehicular access.
But the building code, it's subject to?
The wall
any-
itself is
Yeah.
subject to the building.
Yes. It's over 4 feet from grade?
Yes, it's subject, the wall itself is subject to building.
Okay, yeah.
But it's not, guards aren't required because there's no pedestrian traffic, there's no public access. It's all private.
Okay.
Doing a guardrail in the middle of the woods at,
Public, yeah, but I gotta just double check that. So this, there's no public access
Correct.
ever?
It's a private operation. You don't expect public access. Is that correct?
In what?
Over the culvert.
People coming to the site?
Certainly not pedestrians. I mean, people generally,
Yeah.
yeah, they could. I'm not opposed to a guardrail, being honest.
Well,
I guess I'm just thinking,
I don't think the guardrail is required, but I would say that we have to submit to the building department because the walls are subject to that, so I would assume that if there's a difference of opinion from mine, that would be required at that time.
Okay.
No utility poles?
No.
No, yeah, no.
Correct.
No underground?
no utilities going.
Thomas McIntyre, the applicant, I realized
No
I should identify
underground, at
myself.
this time, no underground utilities?
Nope, it's just a very simple culvert crossing, just to gain access to the upland.
Okay.
And like I said before, you know, I didn't want to speak for the commission. I can start the draft, and then when the time comes, whenever they close the meeting, I wasn't implying.
Right, because the dry,
I wasn't going to speak for 7 people like this.
I understand.
well, the dry season, so is there any flow right now?
I haven't been out there since the sidewalk.
I'm sure there is.
There was some flow.
Yeah, so-
Typically, this construction occurs in late summer, which is what we
Right.
had originally specified on the plans. The commission's request during the sidewalk, we strengthened the language to say that even if it is in the dry season, if it's flowing, construction cannot commence
Okay.
until such time that it is dry.
Or
Yeah.
vice versa.
Right. It could happen sooner.
Yeah.
But what I
Could
added
be
was
October,
that.
could be Columbus Day weekend.
Yep.
And it's we have a drought.
Right.
And you got, a week to put it in.
And we also specified under no circumstance should the work commence without a representative of the commission observing the conditions. So I tried to make it bulletproof
Yeah.
for the commission.
Okay. Okay.
I'll add in, we do tentatively have our construction site operation set up to early August, I think.
Okay. All right, good.
For them, try and, obviously try to accommodate the dry season.
Okay, yeah, so we're not holding you back on construction by waiting one
With
more
the
week.
exception of the possible lead time of getting the culvert.
culvert itself is a long
big
lead.
thing,
Now-
what we can do.
We haven't done a crossing in a while, but there's typically the general bonding. There's replicate, there is no replication.
There's no replication.
So it's usually it's bridge bonding, but if it's the commission's choosing
Crossing,
for the crossing.
yeah, crossing bond
Right.
without replication, I think.
Well, usually it's 2 separate ones.
Yeah,
Usually it's separate because replication usually takes 3 years, you gotta get 75% establishment. So typically, if we had a traditional crossing, we had both of them, most people do 2 separate ones, because once the crossing's done, within a month, you can ask for it, just for that to be released. So it's not held up through the 3-year process of how long it takes to do the bridge. So, but if you can get for the next meeting, if you can get a bond, not a bond, a construction estimate
Yeah,
And the
For bridge
commission can
construction.
approve that at the next meeting, along with anything else they're going to approve.
Is it helpful for me to get that to you prior to the next meeting, via email?
Sure, I have them take a look at it, but usually, the order can get, if it gets approved, then when you start the construction, you have to come back, submit the bond, come back to another meeting, have the commission approve that bond. So if you want to do that all by the next meeting, which is, because there's a holiday on the 19th, the next meeting's, I think, 26th.
and I don't know if I missed this meeting, but the DEP comments, you guys addressed those. I see you sent this email in to us. Did you send anything into DEP?
I did not, and I
Okay.
also addressed these, I know you weren't at the last meeting.
Yeah.
I addressed the comments at the last meeting.
Okay, okay.
Sometimes we do respond to DEP if they're very technical in nature. These comments were not.
Yeah, I
So
see
think
that.
we could easily clarify what the intent was.
Okay. Okay, board. Any other questions? No? 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 Anyone in the audience have any comments or questions regarding this project?
Just curious as to what they're doing back there.
Do you have any copies of the plans?
No, I do not, ma'am.
Okay. Want to do mine?
I'm happy to show
We
them the
have got-
plans
Yeah.
after the meeting if
You
you'd
wanna
like.
do it now?
Sure.
Or, yeah, I mean,
Why,
you can give them
the hearing's
Joe's
open?
copy too.
Okay. Do you want to do it during the meeting while the hearing's open?
Yeah, hard copy. Do I just give them the plan?
I can put them on an easel.
Oh. Katie Grace, anything?
No, I had no comments. I recall that when we visited the site, that it was all just bank area. We have no replication. I want to make sure that the board agrees, again, that there's no replication area here because we're talking about 32 feet worth of this intermittent stream that we're crossing. And that whole area is just bank and there's no bordering vegetative wetland. I just want to make sure we all agree on that.
Okay, Mark?
Yes, because we approved the RDA, the review of the
We
plan.
had read.
Yeah, and Rad.
That's it, that's what I'm trying to,
We carefully studied the whole corridor, and it
Yeah.
was obvious that there were areas where we could avoid BVW,
Yeah,
so we did so.
yeah, we issued the ORAD on this property.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome. Can you give that gentleman a copy, a hard copy, please? You can want to give him mine. I have two.
Plans on the easel there, too, if you want to.
Yeah, it's so, I don't know, both ways are small. Revised through the 5/25/23, right? Here, you can give him mine.
You want the small one or want a big one?
Oh, thank you.
Anyone in the audience? Questions, comments, anybody else? Okay, one more meeting. I'll entertain a motion to continue the public hearing
525? You want the big one?
so moved.
Second?
to June 26, 2023 at 7 PM. Motion made by Mark, seconded by Mike. All those in favor?
Eric Harris, aye.
Mike Greco, aye.
Mark Mungem, aye.
KG Dudley, aye.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, board. Steve, anything else?
Yeah, we have one more. It's Martin Road.
Okay, we have
We're
a
continuing.
request for continuance. So public meeting continue, request for determination of applicability, 7:54.
Email came in today. I guess I wasn't able to get to the work that was requested.
Okay, I will entertain a motion to continue this RDA to June 26th at 7 PM.
So moved.
Motion made by Mike,
Second.
seconded by Mark.
Eric Harris, aye.
Mike Greco, aye.
Mark Mungem, aye.
KG Dudley, aye.
Okay, thank you very much. Jeff, are you here for anything else?
No, that's it. I just wanted to make sure there was nothing else.
Okay, yes, thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
Appreciate your hard
Have a good
work.
night, everyone.
Thank you, you too. Okay, Steve, anything? Okay, board?
I have something.
Oh.
I don't know if it's something I want, oh,
Okay. We can
this
call a
is-
motion to adjourn.
You want to talk during or after?
yeah, we should talk about it before. So, last week, Bob,
Menerick.
Menerick
Yeah.
came by and talked about the access road to the school.
Yep.
And we talked a little bit about erosion.
Yes.
And erosion protection. So I went out there this evening to check to see what kind of erosion there had been. Because we got a little bit of a heavy rain, it wasn't very long duration. So, there's a little bit of erosion on the northern side as you go up towards the school. And it just,
Yeah, right
That
here,
was
the
pretty-
pinch, the
pretty-
pinch, the pinch
right,
point.
pretty
That's-
small.
I was talking about putting riprap here to slow down the
yeah,
velocity.
there should probably be a little basin
Right.
with a riprap outlet there.
Just
I
because
think,
you're getting everything
because
from that hill, you're getting the
everything
coefficient of
from all this area
erosion.
wants to come into
Right.
that
And then
one
you get-
little area.
You get the
right there.
coefficient of erosion over there. It's not, there's nothing but, and if you, once you hit that riprap, it'd slow it down.
Right.
And maybe level spread it.
So even after that one little rain we had Friday evening, we had some erosion there.
That's
So
what I
it's
said
only
last
going to
meeting,
get worse. And,
Could I take a peek?
Want me to
Thank
talk
you.
to, want me to talk to Bob?
I would request a solution proposed
Okay.
to prevent this erosion.
I mean, there was no erosion of the straw wattles or no sediment that reached the wetland, anything like that.
But this is within
But I
the
just-
jurisdiction. This is within the
Yes.
100.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
On the, it's that, the backside on the,
Yes.
Yeah.
yeah, on the right, yeah.
Before there is an issue, I just think it's a pretty simple
agree.
solution, and
Yeah.
we should try to have it.
I think once it
Okay.
slows it down, the water, well, then you look at it again.
Right. Right, there's a, as you said, there's a real pinch point,
I agree.
so.
I mentioned it before.
Okay. So you'll send a little correspondence. Katie Grace, anything?
Nope, nothing further.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion made by Mark,
Second.
second by Mike.
Eric Harris, aye.
Mike Greco, aye.
Mark Mangum, aye.
KG Dudley, aye.